Hi, I'm Susan Lipp, Editor-in-Chief of Trust and Estates. I'm here today with Hartley Goldstone, who founded Navigating the Trustscape in 2009 after serving as an attorney, trustee, and planner for high net worth families for 25 years. About 2 years ago, Hartley began interviewing trustees, beneficiaries, and planners to collect their stories about moments when the trustee-beneficiary relationship worked well. 25 of those stories appear in his recently published book, Trustworthy: New Angles on Trust from Beneficiaries and Trustees. Hartley, why positive stories?
Well, let me start why stories at all. And there's plenty of research that tells us that we learn best through stories. They engage us. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell us that. Positive stories, though, there are so many nightmare kinds of stories out there that I wanted to collect positive stories as a counterpoint to a lot of what's out there. And essentially I come at that from two directions. One, and I know there are lots of advisors and trustees listening in, a question I'm often asked, and I believe you probably are too, when there's a situation confronting us. I'm asked by clients, what do other families do? What do other trustees do? What do other parents do when they want to tell their kids about the family wealth, or when they want to initiate a conversation about prenups? What do other trustees do when they're faced with a challenging situation? What do other beneficiaries do when they want to be seen as individuals? So these stories are windows into 25 windows into what other people do on these issues and a whole lot more. The second reason positive stories are important, let me come at it this way and cite three quick trends. Number one, it's estimated that roughly 90% of a family's wealth will be held in trust by the third generation following the wealth creation, the grandkids generation. Second is that polls consistently show that 80% of beneficiaries say that they are feel dissatisfied or worse with their trust arrangements. And the third thing is, as you all know, and you know, Susan, litigation is on the increase. And so I believe that we are very, very good at the technical side, the legal, the accounting, and the investment. But where the disconnect comes in is our failure to pay attention to the qualitative side, the interpersonal side. And so, again, that's where positive stories come in.
Right. And how do you use those stories in your own practice?
Yeah, well, I do, and in fact, they're at the core of my practice. So now, when I put together a keynote, there'll always be stories at the core. It'll be built around stories. And what's really been fun is starting a few years ago at a family office exchange conference, at a Fox conference, I began building workshops around stories, around real life situations, and giving participants a real situation to play with among themselves. My workshops now are very interactive. So as recently as yesterday here in New York, I presented a workshop for Eisner-Amper's annual conference for their family office clients. And I gave them I asked them to put on a trustee hat. And there were advisors. There were some trustees, but it's mostly advisors and family members. And asked them to play the role of trustee with a challenging distribution request where their head may have said one thing, but their gut said another, and had them puzzle through how to get to doing the right thing, not by going outside the box, but by knowing the box so well that you can expand it and maybe find new ways to get to a good solution. I also use stories with clients. Again, what do other families do? And the stories, by the way, are about real, they're the kinds of stories a friend might tell you over a cup of coffee. They're not best practices. They're people telling stories. Of course, facts and we preserve confidentiality to the satisfaction of the storyteller by changing facts and names and so forth. So that's really at the core of my practice with clients now. So.
All right, well, thank you for coming in and discussing your book. And hopefully you'll be writing for us in the future so people can see your articles on our website, wealthmanagement.com.
I'd love it, and you can count on it. Thanks.
Okay, great.